If your ads are getting leads, but they're not the right leads, guess what? Your ad worked. Yay! But the messaging probably didn't work. The messaging probably didn't speak to who you're trying to bring into your audience or your ad. So, quick context. When people bring in the wrong audience, or when you have leads and you start talking to them or trying to maybe convert them or send an email to them and it's crickets, you might think, oh, Facebook ads don't work, or my targeting was wrong, or my budget was off, whatever, my strategy was wrong. But here's the thing, right now, your messaging is what is probably the most important thing. Your messaging needs to speak to the people you are trying to attract. And all of that other stuff matters. If you choose the wrong objective, that completely matters. That's very important. But you could choose everything correct, have a beautiful creative, and then if your messaging is off or not talking to the right people, then you're not going to get good leads and you probably will walk away disappointed thinking my ads don't work. And what do I mean? What do I mean by your messaging is off? You need to use the words that your clients are using, that you want to use without sounding like a robot. If your ideal client or who you're trying to attract is a middle-aged woman, then you probably need to speak like a middle-aged woman and not, whoa, hey, or whatever the kids are talking like these days. I don't know. So that's what we're going to fix. Your messaging is the stage. So here's the danger of trying to please everyone. And I get it because I am a nice person and I want everyone to feel included. I don't want to exclude anybody. But when you are doing marketing, you need to talk to the people you are trying to attract and also at the same time talk to people you're trying to repel. Repel seems like such an aggressive word, doesn't it? Again, to use the middle-aged versus young audience, if I was trying to attract a middle-aged woman, I might say, oh, are you an empty nester? Are you getting ready to retire? Versus, oh, those babies at home. How are those babies at home? Are you just so tired? You're not sleeping well because they're not eating or they're teething? So do you see the difference? Or if the third example, I guess, would be everybody, hey, ladies. And that could work if you're trying to sell something that every lady would want. And I'm sure there are some things. Some people might say diamonds, but I would be fine not having that. So here's what happens when your message is too broad. So the, hey, ladies, you might get a lot of attention. You might get a lot of clicks. They might opt in, but they're not going to be buyers necessarily. They're going to be browsers. Hey, what does she have? Versus empty nesters, or are you a grandma? Something like that, which if the person in the audience is a grandma, their ears will perk up. Hey, she's talking to me. When a brand speaks to nobody, it sounds like nothing. So like those brands that say, I help busy women get the life they deserve. I have clients come to me that say that. My coaching is going to give them the life they want. What does that mean? You don't know me. You don't know what kind of life I want, right? Does that mean at work? Does that mean at home? Does that mean the way I look, the way I feel? Busy women, not busy women? So you have to be specific. So the person perks up and says, she's talking to me. People wonder when they have this generic messaging why their leads ghost them, why they fall off their list, why they're not opening their emails, why they're not buying their products. Well, they clicked, they opted in, but They really didn't know what they were opting in for. It's like if you were throwing a party, everyone's invited. We're going to have vibes. Would a 15-year-old know that they were invited? What kind of vibes? Would a middle-aged person, an older person, a man? Like literally anybody. So you might be throwing a party that's going to end up in chaos. What do you cook? What kind of music do you play? What's the dress code? When you're doing your ads, or even if you're not even doing your ads, you have one kind of messaging, everyone. And then you have another one, my people. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Keep my people. Broad messaging is random leads that don't convert. The next part is if you don't want to just have everybody opt in because that costs money, the next big crucial piece is, and this word is overused, I know, but authenticity. You need to be authentic. Oh my goodness. AI, right? AI is everywhere. People really want to know you're a real person and not like, hello, can you please opt into my ad? Versus, hey, come on in. So authenticity is, in this day and age, it's your superpower. Use it. Real people want connection. I have heard so much noise. People are so tired of AI. They're so tired of it. Oh my gosh, stop. Stop. Where are the people? Where are the people? Where's the community? And honestly, that is why I started my Skool community, because it's so great to have people that you connect with. You want to sound polished and professional, but not perfect and not like a robot. You want to be a human. So just recently, someone was talking to me, and she is a coach, and she's in a sensitive, I don't want to say touchy-feely or woo, but kind of space. She was saying, I'm nervous. I don't really want to talk about nervous systems and these things because I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't want that's a certain kind of person, and maybe they're going to be offended, or if I swear. And we had this conversation where I said, listen, that's fine if what you say makes them not want to come in to your community, then good. You don't want to have them in your community if you have to be a different community to please them, right? There's so many choices out there. Call in the people that you want, that are a good fit for your community or your product, and it's fine. We love everybody, but this isn't the right place for you. You're not going to like what I say. You're not going to like my message. You're probably not going to show up. So it's better if you find a better place for you. She was getting leads, but saying it's like crickets. I have all these people, but no one's engaging. No one seems interested in what I have to say. And yeah, that's because you were nervous about what you said in your messaging, and everybody came. And now how are you going to engage a community of everybody? You're not going to please anybody. She worked on it. She got her messaging really clear, and now she's got people in her community that are engaged and talking. When messaging feels hard, it's not because you're doing anything wrong or you're not professional enough or smart enough or good enough or enough. It just means you're trying to please everybody. You're trying to be a welcoming person. The best strategy in the world will not convert if you're not authentic and a human, and your message is weak. You're stuck with a lot of people in your community, or clicking on your ad and not buying. And to make you feel good, you say, well, I got so many clicks, I got so many leads for 50 cents. And that's not really paying your bills, right? If you're a business. So you could push all the right buttons in the world, but if your leads don't fit, what have you achieved? More people that you can't please. More people that you can't please. I've seen ads, beautiful ads, perfect creative, right strategy, right budget, technically performed on paper, clicks, opt-ins, all of that. Now, the back end, sales, no. Engagement, no. I mean, if you're a business, you're here for revenue. So the magic formula is balance. You need your strategy, but you also need messaging. You need authenticity. And that's how your ads not only get attention, but they get the right attention.